Day 4. Eugene Bullard. The first black fighter pilot, revised for clarity. The dusty streets of Columbus, Georgia, in the early 1900s, were not kind to a young black, dark-skinned boy with big dreams. Eugene Jacques Bullard, his skin the deep brown of the southern sun grew up hearing his father say, "In France, they treat a man like a man." Those words planted themselves in his heart like a seed that would never stop growing. By the time he was 11, Eugene had run away from home. He drifted through the South, picking up odd jobs, sleeping in fields and barns, and learning hard lessons about how America treated a boy with black skin. His eyes, however, were always fixed on one place, France. At 16, he stowed away on a ship and crossed the Atlantic. Paris was everything his father had promised by Brandt, alive, and, most importantly, free from the racial chains he had known all his life. Eugene boxed professionally, danced in clubs, and became part of a lively community of artists and outsiders. When World War I erupted, he didn't hesitate. He joined the French Foreign Legion, fighting in brutal trench battles. Wounded twice, he could have stopped, but instead he volunteered for aviation training. In 1917, he earned his wings, becoming the world's first black fighter pilot. His Spad biplane bore the name to Le Sang-Qui, Cool Est Rouge, all blood runs red. Bullard flew combat missions over the Western Front, dueling in the skies above Europe. In France, he was celebrated as a hero, decorated for bravery, and welcomed in places that would have turned him away back in America. When the United States entered the war, Bullard applied to transfer to the U.S. Army Air Service. The reply was cold and bureaucratic. "We do not accept colored pilots." After the war, he returned to Paris, running a nightclub that became a hub for jazz musicians, writers, and even royalty. When the Nazis invaded France during World War II, Bullard fought again, this time as part of the French resistance. Eventually, he returned to the United States. But there, in the country of his birth, his heroism was ignored. He worked quietly as an elevator operator in New York City, man with a past more extraordinary than anyone around him could imagine. In 1994, more than 30 years after his death, the U.S. Air Force posthumously commissioned him as a second lieutenant. Lesson of the day: your worth is not measured by the recognition you receive, but by the life you live and the principles you stand for. Eugene Bullard's life proves that dignity and courage know no borders, and that a man can be a hero even if his own country refuses to see it.